Okay, hello everyone. Today we will discuss about a certain database. In database like MySQL, when you want to query something, the basic we will have a basic syntax like the basic syntax and basic role. For example, the very basic syntax that we can have when we want to query in MySQL, it's like select, and then after that it's followed by the column name. Usually we will use asterisk to include all the column name, and then after that followed by from, and then after that the database name dot the table name. And then if you want to filter the result of your query, usually you will use where. In the MySQL case, we have a certain syntax and certain rule to get the data. The database that we talk about in this video is not have a certain role. It's like literally like, for example, you have a friend named Andy, and for example, just imply this database is the parent of the Andy, and you meet the parent of Andy in your way home, and if you want to know the home of Andy, maybe you will ask like this: Hey, hey, uncle, where's home of your son, or where's the home of Andy? Something like that. And that is the way that you query in this database, and it's called Chroma database. And Chroma database is a vector database. So now, how this database works? So it's work like in my previous video, I already talked about large language model or LLM. So in Chroma database, actually it's using a little version of this LLM. So when you query, like for example, in my previous example, where's Andy home? Your strings will be converted to the vector, to the number vector. And then after that, this number vector will be matching with all the data in the database. And for your information, when we input the data in the database, for example, there's information, for example, the information of the location of ND home. This information will be encoded to the number using the language model. So our query uh, or our question that is already encoded will be matching with all the factor in the database. Okay, I think it will be more clear if I show you the real example using real code, right? So here I already prepare three scripts using Python. The first two scripts in here will dataset. This is the experiment. If this is the experiment where the document is just, oh yeah, I forget to mention about the dataset that I'm using in this video. Okay, in this video, I'm using the anime and review dataset. So anime in here is collected from many sources, and the review collected also from many sources from many websites. Oh, I should not open this because the review.csv is so big way back. And what we want to achieve in this is I want to create something like Google search, but in this case it's only limited to for anime. So when we forget the title of the anime, you just ask this application or this script. For example, you just ask, for example, you want to watch a certain anime, you just describe what is the plot or what is the MC in that anime or something like that. Okay, in here we collect the data. This is just step by step. import the Chromadb and the pandas for read the CSV data. And then after that, we create the UID in the anime.csv dataset. There's already UID for every unique anime. And in Chromadb, actually, when you want to include a document, you must include 3 parameters like here. Include document, metadata. Metadata is optional. And also the ID. ID is mandatory, same like document. ID is like identity. And then here, this is the step to run the Chromadb. First, we declare the client, and then we get or click collection. In here, the database is detailed, and in here the collection, or in the MySQL, it's like table, or in the MongoDB, it's also tailored collection, I think. Here, the database is anime detail, and the collection is anime detail. Anime detail for database and anime title for the collection. In this experiment, the document is just a title. So when we want to search something, when we want to query the Chromadb, the database will only matching what we query. It will only matching with the title, and then the metadata is the rest of it. The synopsis, genre, error. I think the metadata will not match it when we query the data. It's just supplementary information. And then here, this is the ID. But for the second experiment, here the document is here. The single review variable, and single review variable is the combination of the review. So in the first script, I'm using anime.csv, but for the second script, I'm using the review.csv. And do this because I want to include more information for a single document, so our Chromadb will have more context when they search. So here, this is the single review is the review from the user plus the title and the synopsis of the anime. And in this script, the metadata is just single title. So it's the opposite with the first script, where the title is the main content for the document, but in here, the title is only the metadata. I can run this, but it will take a long time to run, and it will be time consuming for this video. So I already ran that, and as you can see here, I have the directory. I have 2 directories here. Anime detail in here is for the first experiment, and AnimeDB in here is for the second experiment. And here, this is the script to query the data. So here, let's see what if we're using the first database. The database first is anime detail. So actually, I already prepared some query in here. So the first query is like this. So actually, in the past, actually there is a little unique anime where this is a sports anime where a woman in that anime using their assets for this competition. So the query is like this. Let's see if the Chromadb can find the anime if we using the first database, where in the first database, I just remind you that the first database, the only content in the document, it's only the title. So if we do this, and as you can see here, we can find the anime. But what if we using the second database, where all the information, for example, the review, the description, the synopsis, and also the title in the document. Okay, in here I only bring the metadata because we want to check the title, and in the second database, the metadata is only the title, so I will only bring the metadata. And as you can see here, we find that anime. It's called Keijo. And also there's a Bikini Warrior Special. I don't know about this anime, but let's just Google this. Well, I think it's similar anime because it's the woman in this anime, it's the feeling. Okay, for the second query, it's a magical girl story but with mind-blowing plot twist. And actually what I mean in this is, let's see. Okay, what I mean when I search is here, this Mahou Shoujo Madoka Magica. If you don't know about this anime, I recommend to watch this because the plot twist is quite mind-blowing, at least for me. And as you can see here, it's only rank 4 in the search results. But actually, you can up the ranks if we explain it more detailed. For example, the main cast in this anime is 5 magical girls. So if we write 5, if we only add 5, what is the result? And as you can see here, the rank is become the second rank. So the rank is up. And the first rank is, actually I don't know about this. Well, I think it's anime about girls, but I don't know what is the story. Now, what if we using the second database? No, the first database. Okay. And as you can see here, we can find that anime if the context is only the title. And from these two try, I think we can already conclude that when you're using a Chromadb, you must include all of the text, for example, like this. So if you only include, for example, just the title, or yeah, if you only include, for example, in here just the title, the Chromadb can find the context, so the search result will not be optimal. The search result, it will be just something like matching words. So it will just work like a usual database like MySQL or MongoDB. We can get the advantage of Chromadb if we only include the title like that. Okay, for the next experiment is it's anime with big controversy. So there's a certain anime. Actually, in the anime, the that the controversy is not in the anime but in the manga. But I think this Chromadb can I think the Chromadb can understand what I mean. So the controversy is the death in the anime is actually it's literally marry his daughter. So let's see if it's can find it. Oh, I forgot to turn on the second database. But as you can see here in the third experiments, the the first database can find the anime that what I mean. Okay, let's run. And as you can see here, I can find it in the second rank of the search. And actually, I wonder why my target title is not in the first rank. The first rank is always a random anime like this. I don't know about this anime, but I think the context is similar. Oh, maybe what what the database means is something like this. Maybe in the review that I include in the database, maybe someone mentioned about this. So when we search about using that query, it find in the first rank like this. Okay, this is the last. It's a popular visual novel adaptation about 7 mates that fight for Holy Grail. Actually, this is a very popular anime. I want to know if the if this database can find it. The first until the 5 ranks, all of them is right. So what I mean is Fate Stay Series or Fate Stay Series no. What I mean is Fate Series. So it's from Fate Stay Night, Fate Zero, Fate Stay Night, Animated Deathward, and etc. And I think that's all. I think this is enough to demonstrate the power of Chromadb and how to use or how to store the document in Chromadb. Actually, I'm also new for this database, but I will use this database for my second project or in the next video, I think. And I think that's all. Thank you. Bye.